Welcome back to my channel. In today's video, we are attacking all of those questions that I received on Instagram last week when I put that question box on my story. So first of all, thank you to everyone who submitted a question. I got tons of really awesome questions that I'm really excited to answer today. I will say some of the questions I feel deserve their own video for. For example, competition, motivation, injuries, those things I can talk about for days. So I'm gonna do separate videos for each of those topics, but I feel like the rest of the questions I can probably get done in just today's video. So let's get started. Question number 1. I am having so much trouble rolling with stronger, fitter girls. Any tips? Look, girls are like a whole different animal. I know on here we talk a lot about stronger guys, bigger guys, and how to deal with it, but look, girls are tough and girls are feisty. So I hear ya, sometimes it can be challenging. But honestly, when it comes to rolling with stronger girls, fitter girls, I think it's kind of the same as if you're rolling with anyone who's bigger than you. Number 1, get really good at defending. I'm assuming you're more of a beginner anyway, so this is what you should really be working on, getting really good at defending. And then when that person who's bigger than you, stronger than you, fitter than you, more skilled than you, when you get really good at defending their stuff, when they mess up in the slightest bit, that's your go time. And that's when you can capitalize on whatever kind of move you do. You can really capitalize on their mess up. The more you train, obviously, the better you will get, the more skilled you will become, and the more tools you will have in your back pocket. I remember when I first started, and one of my good friends, she started, I think maybe like 6 or so months before me, but like she was really good. And she's a little bit bigger than I am. Like she's super fit, she's amazing, but she weighs maybe like 10 or 15 pounds more than I do. And when I first started, I was just like, oh my gosh, I can't do anything. Like she's bigger than me, blah, 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 blah. And I would get really frustrated. But the longer that I trained and the more that we trained together, the more techniques that I started learning and started implementing into my roles, the more I started kind of giving it to her. And eventually we started having really good back and forth, just really fun roles together. So honestly, I just think the more you train, the more techniques that you start using, the better you will do against those fitter, stronger girls. And who's to say you can't become just as fit and just as strong as they are? Strength training is so amazing and so beneficial for your jiu-jitsu. So there's no reason why you can't be just as strong as they are. And if you need help, I am a personal trainer, just saying. So shoot me an email if you have any questions about strength and conditioning for jiu-jitsu. Question number 2, what can I do off the mats to learn and improve? Also, what protein powders do you recommend? Okay, a couple things that you can do to learn and improve off the mats. Number 1, this is another thing where I need to learn to take my own advice, but the first tip for you is to keep a jiu-jitsu journal where you write down all of the stuff that you learn every day. This is something else that my boyfriend tells me all the time that I should be doing, and I don't because I'm always like, I don't have the time, yada, yada, yada. But I really should be writing down what I'm learning, especially because I'm coaching as well. Oh, man, I need to start like today. But write down the techniques that you learn in class. Just, scribble little notes, draw pictures, whatever makes you feel good. And that will help you retain some of the information that we learn in class, because we all know that sometimes what we learn in class by like the end of the day, it's completely out of our head. Literally just like 2 weeks ago, we were working on all deep half stuff, and I'm really trying to start implementing deep half into my game. So I've been trying to get there in rolling, and the other day I got there 3 times, and every single time I could not remember what to do. And we literally learned it like a week or 2 ago, and afterwards I went up to my professor and I was like, we just learned deep half guard, and I was just there and I had no idea what to do. And I mean, that's normal. We're always going to forget stuff that we learn unless we practice it and drill it. But maybe I would have remembered at least one of the sweeps that we did if I would have wrote it down. Tip number 2, study. With YouTube and online instructionals, there is endless information on the internet that you can use to study jiu-jitsu when you're not actually on the mats. One of my favorite channels that I love to watch for techniques is Jiu Jitsu. He is a black belt. I believe he's based out of Kentucky. He owns his own school, and I just love the way that he teaches. I would love to take a class with him one day if I ever end up in Kentucky. But he is just so clear, he's so concise, he is straight to the point, and he just makes everything really easy and simple to understand. So I would definitely check out his channel if you're looking to study some techniques. For instructionals, I feel like every black belt these days is creating an online instructional. If you don't follow any black belts on Instagram, I highly recommend that you do so, because then you can see which ones you feel like you can learn the best from, learn the most from, and then see if they've done any kind of instructional online that you can buy. And then some things that you can do to help you improve in your jiu-jitsu that's not actually jiu-jitsu is start thinking about, if you don't already, your recovery, your diet, your hydration. Are you getting enough sleep every night? Are you getting 7, 8, 9 hours of sleep consistently every night? What is your diet like? Are you eating well-balanced meals every single day? Are you getting in all of your vegetables and different fruits? Are you getting enough protein? Are you adequately hydrated every single day? Or are you going into training every day dehydrated and maybe you don't even realize it? Do you do any kind of strength training outside of jiu-jitsu? Like I said in the last question, strength training is so beneficial for jiu-jitsu. Not so much even for strength. I mean, yes, obviously getting stronger can help you in jiu-jitsu, but I love the idea of strength training for jiu-jitsu for injury prevention and specifically to help with certain movements that we do in jiu-jitsu. So a lot of the strength training that I try twice a week. It doesn't always happen because I feel like sometimes I just get so consumed in jiu-jitsu and then I just don't make the time for strength and conditioning. But on ideal weeks, twice a week. And a lot of the movements that I do are, for example, single leg movements, because how many times in jiu-jitsu in a roll do we find ourselves balancing on one foot? Even if it's for just a split second, if our body is not used to balancing like that, one, injury is there potentially, and two, we might not be able to do the technique well enough to execute it in a roll. Again, if you need help with that, feel free to shoot me an email. So keeping all of those things in mind should help you in jiu-jitsu when you're not actually on the mat. Now for protein powders, I'm not a huge protein powder kind of person. Sometimes I'll put a protein powder in my smoothies, but that's about it. I'm not just downing a protein shake every single day after training. I try to get all of the nutrients to feel satisfied through my diet. So I prepare all of my meals for the day beforehand. So I always have something prepared to eat, but I try to get all my protein through just regular food. If I do want to get some extra protein in, I will put some protein in a smoothie. And right now I've really been liking this Primal Kitchen collagen protein. I feel like with protein powders, you have to look for a lot of those extra ingredients. And I'm all about limiting the amount of ingredients that I'm consuming, because a lot of times we're consuming all this extra crap that we don't even realize, including protein powders. So I really like this one because the ingredients are really clean. The protein comes from collagen peptides. A lot of times you have to look for extra sugar that's in protein, and the sugar that's in here comes from monk fruit, and there's 0 grams. It is paleo friendly, keto certified. There is no dairy, whey, or soy, which is great as for the soy because I avoid soy as much as possible. And like I said, it is sugar free. So the ingredients are great. It tastes good. It definitely doesn't have that like chalky texture like a lot of protein powders do. So I would definitely recommend this one. Question number 3. Have you ever accidentally had your hair pulled or caught when rolling? Girl, the story of my life, and I think every girl in jiu-jitsu. Recently, I've actually been contemplating getting an undercut, just like a little baby one, because a lot of the hairs underneath here, like right at the bottom of my hair, there's a lot more short pieces than I ever remember having there. And some days it just looks a little crazy when my hair is up. So I've been contemplating getting an undercut, but I just don't know if it's my style, you know? I'm a little scared. And the maintenance is ridiculous. Like, I'm not trying to go to the barbershop once a week to maintain that thing. I'm just too lazy. So yes, getting your hair pulled and caught in jiu-jitsu is a thing, unfortunately, and I think it will forever be a thing unless we just all shave our hair off. But I do have a hairstyle video. You did say you have thick dreadlocks, so I don't know if my hairstyles will help you because clearly my hair is a lot thinner than probably your hair is with the dreadlocks, but I do have a hair video. Go check that out. Maybe some of those styles will help you from getting your hair pulled on. Next question. I'd love to know what your post-training hair routine is like. This is it, my $5 hair routine. I almost feel bad when people ask me this question because I am a really bad example of what to do to take care of your hair. This is the only thing I use in my hair, okay? It is whole blends. They're like literally $5 a bottle from the drugstore, and I don't do anything else. I cut my hair probably once a year. I wash it every day, even though you're not supposed to, but my hair gets really sweaty and gross from jujitsu. So to me, the thought of then putting my head on my clean pillow with not just my sweat, but other people's sweat. So I wish I had a better answer for you. I really do. Next question. I think I'm gonna cap it off at this question because I don't want the video to get too long. But anyway, the next question is, how should the gi fit? Well, it's a good thing I so conveniently have my gi on to show you. This is my favorite gi right now. It is the Patriot gi from War Tribe. I love the symbols that are on the gi. I love the quote from Tim Kennedy that's on their website advertising the gi. And honestly, I've said this before, War Tribe is my absolute favorite brand of gis. Every single gi that I've gotten from them, I have absolutely loved. I wear them almost every day in training. They're my favorite gi to wear in competition. Now, I am not affiliated with or sponsored by War Tribe. That is literally the dream. So War Tribe, if you see this video, I'm here. I love you. Now, for the fit of the gi, I'm very particular with the way that my gi pants fit. If they don't fit a certain way, and honestly, if they don't fit the way that War Tribe gis fit, then I'm not happy. The pants need to be above the ankle. I cannot stand when pants are below the ankle, dragging on the floor. I also can't stand when the pants are too short, so they need to be just right. Also, in competition, IBJJF is very strict with the way that your gi fits, and they measure your gi before you go on the mat. So they do have to fit properly on the ankles and the sleeves. I'm not exactly sure of the measurements, but I believe it's on their website if you're curious. I also like the way that War Tribe's drawstrings on their pants are. They're kind of round and stretchy versus some other gis I have. They're like flat and they don't stretch. I don't know. It's just like the tiny details that matter, you know? War Tribe gis are also very light, so I don't feel heavy and weighed down. And then for making weight for competition, I always like to wear a light gi, so I always feel comfortable with War Tribe that they won't add too much extra weight on me for competition. Honestly, a lot of times with gis, you just have to experiment. You have to spend a ton of money on it, pray that it fits well, pray that you feel comfortable in it, and then if you don't, then you have to go through the hassle of returning it. I hate having to return stuff. A lot of times gis, when you first buy them and you first try them on, they don't fit properly. A lot of times you have to shrink them because they come a little oversized. I don't know what the deal is with that, but that's just the way it is sometimes. But I'm just throwing it out there with War Tribe. I've never had to shrink my gis. So experiment, try different brands, try different gis, and eventually you will find the gi that you feel the most comfortable with, and you will know when a gi fits you the way that you want it to fit. So that's gonna wrap it up for this video. I have more questions to answer, but I don't want to keep you guys here for too long, so I'll do another video with the rest of the questions. I hope for the ones that I did answer, I hope that my answers were helpful. As always, thank you guys so much for your support, for engaging with my channel, for all the messages that you guys send me. If you don't follow me on Instagram, follow me on Instagram. We can chat, we can be besties, and you can always easily just message me there if you want to say hi or if you have a question. So until the next video, I will see you guys next time.